are continuing to follow the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban.
Joining us live now to talk about more of the political fallout is NIU political scientist Chez Thurber. Chez, thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you.
First, let's talk about how this happened so quickly. President Biden acknowledging this afternoon that it was far more quick than even U.S. intelligence had estimated. So how did it happen? How did the Taliban take so much control so quickly?
On paper, it shouldn't have happened like this. The Taliban had fewer soldiers, they're more poorly trained, and they have less equipment than the Afghan military. Yet I think we underestimated the morale depletion of the Afghan military. They've been fighting the Taliban for years. They've been poorly paid, if paid at all. And I think the U.S. withdrawing their support was the last straw for them. They decided that this fight wasn't worth fighting anymore. The other thing that the Taliban proved adept at doing is striking deals with local leaders. So they weren't fighting all along the way. They would strike deals with local mayors, with even military commanders to get their adversary to lay down their weapons so that they could walk forward and take over these towns without actually having to fight.
Okay, so I think a lot of people now are looking ahead to what happens a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. And I'm wondering what, number one, happens to the Afghan people moving forward? And number two, how does the Taliban sort of restructure itself and potentially be a threat here at home, here in the U.S.?
Yeah, I think the humanitarian consequences for what might happen in the next days, weeks, months, and years are quite frightening. I think the Taliban has the will and the motivation and the capability to enact a high level of reprisal violence against those that they view as collaborators with the Americans for these past 20 years. There you see the shot of the Afghans who are jumping on the plane to try to get out of there. They are that worried about what might happen next.
Yeah, as we look at those images, I keep thinking of all of those Afghans who worked with the U.S. military and our allies over the last 20 years who no doubt are feeling abandoned right now. That is not just a political problem, but potentially a security problem, I would imagine.
Absolutely. And look, I think the Taliban have taken control of Afghanistan. That ship has sailed, but there's still much we can do in the effort to try to evacuate and to relocate those Afghans who had our backs these past 20 years, working as interpreters, working as journalists, helping our men and women in uniform in many, many ways. We need to try to maintain control of the airport in Kabul so that we can get them out of there safely, or as many as possible, and then really move the bureaucratic engines at full speed to try to get visas processed to resettle as many of these refugees as possible in the United States or other safe places around the world.
When the president talked today, a couple of key things that he said about the role that the U.S. will play in Afghanistan. He talked diplomacy. He talked humanitarian aid. So I want you to give us a little bit more specifics of what you think that will look like, how you think that will play out.
I think it's yet to be determined. We don't have a great history of relations with the Taliban, obviously. So I'll be interested to see how the administration plans to funnel aid through the Taliban to Afghanistan. The Taliban also probably not going to be very willing to work with international NGOs or other partners that are viewed as closely aligned with the United States. Certainly, I admire the president's commitment, and I think he's right to try to put the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan at the top of the agenda. How exactly we're able to go about doing that, and if we're able to do it effectively, remains to be seen.
All righty. Chez Thurber from Northern Illinois University, we appreciate your insight. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, one of the three